Discover the 8 essential principles from ancient Stoic philosophy that every man should learn early in life. Embracing these core Stoic practices in your youth sets the stage for tremendous growth, resilience, and leadership capabilities. In this video, we summarize the key Stoic lessons around mastering emotions, listening to your conscience in choices, adopting a cosmopolitan rather than narrow mindset, fulfilling your social duties, reflecting before acting impulsively, accepting what you can't control, becoming self-sufficient, and living mindfully. The ancient wisdom from Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus illuminated the path centuries ago. It's time to reclaim that knowledge. For the leaders and pioneers of tomorrow, master these 8 lessons to grow into the empowered, unshakable man destiny calls you towards. Number 1. Master your emotions. It's normal to feel anger, anxiety, jealousy, and other hard-to-handle emotions at times, but the ancient Stoics realized that letting those emotions control you leads to tons of poor decisions and wrecked relationships. Instead, they advocated self-mastery. C. We can't avoid negative emotions. They're wired into us. But through constant practice, we can take control of our reactions. For example, maybe a rude driver cut you off. Instead of fuming or retaliating, take a few deep breaths. Or when a friend cancels plans last minute, accept that let down, rather than assuming ill intent on their part. Apply this self-control training to all your emotional triggers. Over time, with practice, you won't be so hijacked by intensity or knee-jerk responses. Why bother with this emotion regulation exercise? Because running mostly on feelings, rather than logic, never ends well. You'll gain way more peace, reasonable choices, and positive influence over yourself and those around you. Number 2. Focus on your conscience. In every decision we face, there's often many conflicting factors pulling at us. Money, fame, convenience, peer pressure, on and on. But the Stoics knew that above all, we should listen to that inner voice, our conscience. Think of your conscience as the wisest guide, sitting on your shoulder, steering you towards justice, moderation, and the greater good. Even when tempted otherwise, it always knows the high road. So next time you're faced with an ethical dilemma, pause for a second, block out all the outside opinions and locker room talk, and listen to what your conscience tells you about the virtuous path. If we constantly use our conscience as a compass, we'll have fewer regrets down the road. People may try to mock the importance of living by your inner light, but a clear conscience sleeps well at night, while wrongdoing weighs heavy. Tuning your ear to hear its voice just takes practice. When in doubt of a decision, pause and consult your conscience. Let it guide you, even if there's some sacrifice or discomfort in doing the right thing. Number 3. Adopt a cosmopolitan mindset. It's easy to view the whole world through the lens of just our own group, whether that's our religion, culture, country, or even favorite sports team. But the Stoics taught to identify instead as citizens of the great human cosmopolis that spans all tribes. What does that mean practically? It means seeing all people as fellow global citizens, worthy of equal dignity, rather than the other, before judging harshly. Understand different backgrounds, relate to shared hopes and struggles. Expanding our identity leads to more universal compassion. So, catch yourself when making assumptions about those outside your familiar circles. Be just as concerned about suffering overseas as down the block, since we're all brothers and sisters sharing this planet. At the end of the day, breaking free of narrow loyalties brings more benevolence and accurate understanding of the world. Our shared humanity crosses all superficial lines of grouping. So, embrace the diversity around you while still preserving your own traditions. Open your mind beyond them. Become a cosmopolitan citizen of the human community. Number 4. Perform social duties. While the Stoics advocated self-sufficiency and detachment from that outside your control, they did not teach simply isolating from society. Instead, we are meant to contribute. As social beings, we all have duties, whether as friends, family members, citizens, community volunteers, and so on. And the Stoics say that performing those roles to the best of our abilities gives life meaning while bettering the world. Now, what does fulfilling duties look like? As a parent, it means providing loving guidance to your children. As a friend, being present and supportive to those closest to you. As a member of society, participating in ways that create progress. Sure, these roles require some sacrifice of time or resources, but only a life lived for others has true significance, according to the Stoic view. So, determine what duties align with your values and talents. Then step up. No man is an island, sufficient to himself. We grow in community. Number 5. Reflect carefully before acting. This practice can head off a whole lot of regret down the road. We've likely all sent some impassioned text or email we wish we could take back, or made knee-jerk assumptions that proved wrong later when we slowed down and looked closer. The ancient Stoics warned against this hastiness, essentially getting carried away in the moment without fully examining perceptions, motivations, and potential consequences. They urged deliberation instead. So, the next time you feel a surge of anger, or find yourself on the verge of impulsively lashing out, do like the Stoics advise, and press pause. Breathe. Then examine if this reaction is reasonable, by questioning the assumptions and projections you might be making against facts. Apply this reflection. Buffer for big decisions too before fully committing. Floating in anxious speculation leads nowhere, but a reasoned, careful analysis of all elements leads to wiser outcomes. In a fast-paced digital age, we have to make this deliberation a habit. Our future selves will thank us. If you found this Stoic lesson on reflection helpful, be sure to like the video, write your thoughts in comments, and subscribe our channel for more practical wisdom. Number 6. Accept what you can't control. It's a simple concept, but extremely tough skill to implement fully. We expect life to unfold according to our plans and desires, and when it doesn't, we torment ourselves trying to force outcomes, like stubborn mules pulling carts stuck in the mud. Madness. The Stoics advise releasing attachment to expecting events, other people's choices, recognition, health issues, and so on, to bend to your will. Counterintuitively, surrendering to this lack of control paradoxically empowers you. How so? By focusing efforts, instead solely on what is under your power, your perspectives, judgments, and decisions. Despite external factors, write out all worrying things not in your control, and practice saying, "It's not up to me." Realize the freedom in releasing the illusion you can dictate everything. Train in this distinction between internals and externals daily. Install the mindset like a filter for interpreting events. Doing so prevents much anguish. Become the adaptable log floating downstream, rather than rigid stone, eroding against the current. Number 7. Cultivate self-sufficiency. While no man is an island, and community matters, the Stoics also realized the danger of overly relying on external things for your happiness and stability. Other people, status, wealth, property can all be lost in an instant. If your peace of mind depends on them, suddenly you're desperate and suffering. The antidote is building self-sufficiency, or learning to be at ease and content with simple deprivations. Through strength of character alone, train yourself to endure loss through reasonable desire, patience, adaptability, and perspective. How do you build this capacity? Start small. Practice occasionally fasting from certain modern conveniences you come to expect. Remind yourself regularly of how little one truly needs. Journal about finding richness apart from material abundance. Building self-reliance takes time, but allows more flexibility and anti-fragility in facing life's curveballs. Adopt the Stoic mindset that real stability stems from within, regardless of externals. Pair that with service to others, and real influence flows. Number 8. Practice mindfulness. With endless stimuli and worries about future what-ifs dragging our attention in every direction, our minds often feel scattered, anxious, and overwhelmed. The Stoics realized that grounding oneself in the present moment counters this. Mindfulness means focusing attention fully on what you are doing right now, with open-eyed awareness, rather than just rushing through everything on autopilot. Slow down and tune into details. How the warm water feels washing dishes, the sensation of each footstep walking to work, the sounds outside your window. As you go about mundane tasks, consciously notice the experiences versus mentally checked out and distracted. Similarly, when speaking with someone, listen intently rather than rehearsing what to say next. Give them the gift of full presence. Practicing mindfulness takes some mental muscle, but pays off tremendously in focus, calm, and catching problems early before they accumulate. The present moment is all we truly have. Make the most of it through engaged awareness. Thanks for watching. I hope this Stoic philosophy motivates you to be more intentional about where your mind wanders. Don't forget to like the video, share your thoughts in comments, and subscribe our channel for more Stoic wisdom and philosophy. Take care.